Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week we begin the book of Leviticus in our Torah reading. And Leviticus is filled with all sorts of laws, rules, sacrifices, lots of things that we don't really identify with so much today. What we identify with is this space and what it means to come together as a community. And the truth is, the sacrifices aren't an end themselves. So if you read through the details of the Torah portion this week or in the coming weeks, it's going to feel distant. But if you see them as not an end themselves, but rather as a means to an end, then I think it will make much more sense, because they are, in fact, a way to achieve holiness, a way to get closer to God and closer to one another. And that's what we use this space for. So we don't do sacrifices here, although from time to time there are bar mitzvah students or bat mitzvah students who sort of feel like they're being sacrificed. What we do when we gather in this room is come together, and this space becomes a means to an end. This brings us together, it helps us create community, it helps us build in holiness and connect ourselves with something greater, with the Almighty, and that's what Leviticus does too. So the means have changed from century to century, but the end remains the same. We Jews are on an eternal quest to make the world more whole and more perfect, and to find the godlike in each of us, and make those sides of our souls sparkle just a little bit more. I hope you'll join us and do just that here at the temple. Friday night services are at 6 o'clock p.m. Saturday morning we'll be celebrating the bar mitzvah of Jack Satterley at 11, preceded of course by text study at 9 and Torah study at 10. On Sunday morning, all sorts of activities going on in the synagogue building. On Monday evening, our Goldenberg series continues with the Syracuse Brass group, which is a huge group of instrumentalists, and it's great sound, and it will fill this space just with beauty and joy and music that will long stay with you. And so I encourage you to be a part of that. And on Wednesday evening, we'll have an informational meeting on the temple's trip to Eastern Europe, which is coming in the fall. So join us here at the temple at 7 o'clock, and we'll be able to go through all of the exciting details of that trip. For now, join us and be a part of the temple as we explore not just the Jewish world, but our world at large, and work together to make our world filled with more holiness, to reflect that divine spark that each of us carries, and to make our world more complete, more whole, more perfect, and more filled with shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Look forward to seeing you at the temple.